Hello citizens and welcome back. This is our match preview for Spurs vs Man City in the Premier League. Make sure to hit like, hit subscribe. Let's jump into it. This game could be absolutely chaotic. We've seen Spurs games over the last few years at the Etihad and at their ground. They've been very open. You know, both teams go out. Both teams love to attack. And it makes it very unpredictable. I mean, well, I say almost unpredictable because if you go back through my videos over the years, you'll see that in multiple games against Tottenham, I absolutely lambast Pep for the way he plays and the way the team plays, because when we should have just settled for a draw in games where we've come back and scored late on in injury time or things like that, we've thrown the game away because we've been attacking. And we almost did it last year with their ground. You know, we're pushing for a second. They counter on us really well. And it takes Ortega to make a wonderful save to actually get the win and ultimately win the league title. So these games are chaotic, and Tottenham are kind of one of those teams where they don't want to be defending because they're not confident doing it. You know, they don't feel like they're capable of doing it. So they just go all out attacking. They just try and score more goals than you. And it's kind of it makes it kind of a change because a lot of the Premier League is all about sitting back, defending. Even Liverpool did it again. So, you know, sit back for the full 90 minutes and just hit it long and use your fast forwards to create openings. And we fall victim to that a lot. So these games are a little bit more exciting, and it does make it a fun watch for neutrals and for us as fans, I suppose. But that being said, I mean, City do need to change things up a little bit. I mean, Tottenham are on kind of a slight resurgence. I think they've won 3 games in a row now. You know, they are still struggling in the league a little bit, and you expect them to be one mistake away from another, like 3 or 4 defeats in a row. But City are also on that kind of momentum shift this season as well. You know, last year's where we just grind out results. This year we've not been able to grind out those kind of results. We haven't won 3 or 4 by 3 or 4 goals, or we don't win at all. We don't even draw, we just get beat. So these are the kind of games that we do kind of struggle in, these tight games where both teams are going at it. These are the ones I don't feel particularly confident in. And this could be anything. It could be 0-0, it could be 5-0, it could be 10-0. I absolutely have no idea. You know, you just never know what Tottenham team are going to turn up, and you don't know what kind of City team are going to turn up, because over the last few weeks, you know, City have been coming out. You know, Pep's been saying, and Bernardo's been saying that we're not the same City team that we were a few months ago. They have a bit more confidence in ourselves, and we expect ourselves to get back into it. And yet, we collapse in every single game. We concede silly goals. Our defending is still shocking. We still have no midfield. You know, without Haaland on the pitch, we have no focal point to go through, and players look lost. You know, you got like 8 number 10s in that team who just kind of just migrate into the middle, and they're all trying to do the same thing. They're all trying to be the hero. So no one's opening up space, no one's making runs, and when they do make the rare run, no one will pass them the ball over the top because we want to go sideways or backwards. That has to change, and it has to start changing very, very soon. Otherwise, we're not even going to make top 4. I don't expect us to make top 4, but it's still something we need to achieve. We need to get into the Champions League next season. Otherwise, we've had an absolute shocker of a season. I mean, we have anyway, but it could get worse. So this Tottenham team, how do you attack them? Well, you know, I feel like, and I would say that you just fall back a little bit, let them come onto you, because they're more dangerous when they're counter-attacking. Like most teams in the Premier League, they want to counter-attack you. They want space to run into. You know, they don't want to be passing through you. They want to be running into space. You know, they don't want the ball to feed. They want the ball in front of them. But City aren't going to do that, even though I've requested that all season for Pep just to sit back a little bit, let teams come onto you, and then us counter them. So what's going to happen is we're going to push up to the halfway line. They're going to hit it over the top, and they're going to attack us. So we need quick defenders, which we do not have. The only way I can see this going slightly well is if we have Diaz and Kuzanov in the middle. You have Vardiol in there, who I thought watched Salah really well against Liverpool. I thought he did a fantastic defensive job, to be honest with you. I know Salah scored and he created a goal, but there's not much more else he could do, to be honest with you. And on the right-hand side, take your pick. It doesn't really matter. Nunes, Lewis, they're all shocking. I mean, Nunes isn't even a right back, but I still prefer him there than Lewis. And to be honest, Nunes has cost us so many goals this season in so many matches. But I'd still throw him in there, because at least when he gets forward, he can go forward, he can drive through a few plays. He is willing to take players on, and he can create things, unlike Lewis, who doesn't really create anything or offer anything, even though Pep still tries to force him into that midfield when Vardiol pushes up as well. And in midfield, you need players who can get about the pitch. That means Nico has to be in there. That means no Gundogan, he can't get up and down the pitch. No De Bruyne, he can't do it either. We're not going to have all the ball. We're not going to have it our own way. We have to do a lot of defending in this one. We're going to have to get up and down the pitch. That means De Bruyne, Gundogan, they can't play. It means Foden's going to have to be on his best game. He's had a few bad ones. He's got to get back on it. You know, and I'd play Doku on the right, Savinho on the left. I said this against Liverpool. I'd swap them. You know, I know Doku is phenomenal on that left-hand side against Trent, and he was. He was definitely the best player on the pitch out of both teams. But put him on the right-hand side, put Savinho on the left, because Savinho is much dangerous on the left-hand side when he's got a much more natural way to cross, rather than having to, you know, use his right foot or cut inside on his left. And Doku as well. Put him on the right-hand side, and I think they'll be both much more direct. They'll both be much more attacking. You know, and I think it's just more natural that way. I don't know why more people don't do that. And if Mamouche is available, he has to play alongside Foden in the middle. Otherwise, he's going to have to play up front on his own. I don't like him up front on his own, but at least with Spurs, unlike Liverpool, who sat with like a back 5 and sometimes a back 10, Tottenham will not really sit back, and they'll allow Mamouche to have space to run into and play as well. So that could be good. But with Haaland on the pitch, like I said, we need him to occupy a couple of centre-halves. We need him to keep making them runs, you know, keep the defence occupied. It just frees up players like Mamouche and Foden. They can't really do their best game when Haaland isn't on the pitch. People don't realise the space that Haaland creates. You know, the ability he's got to hold up the ball and lay the ball off. He's just a much more dynamic forward than, well, we don't have a forward. But without him, we're going to really struggle. So the sooner Haaland's back, the better. And we don't know if Haaland's going to be back. Pepper said he won't know until after training. Hopefully he plays tomorrow. And if not, so be it. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting game regardless. Like I said, it could be any score. I'm not going to try and predict a score for this one, because that would be absolute madness. And I think anyone that gets it right deserves to, you know, give them the lottery ticket, because I don't know how anyone can predict it. But yeah, slightly resurgent Tottenham against a pretty poor City side. I don't know. We've not got a good record there. Of course, we won there for the first time last season. We won there twice. I think, was it Ake that scored in the cup? And then obviously Haaland got 2 in the league late on in the penultimate game of the season. I'd go into it expecting absolutely nothing. And it's just going to be another disappointing result. And anything we get out of that is a bonus. That's it. That's the match preview. Thanks for watching as always. Thanks for checking it out. Hit like, hit subscribe. It's been great. I appreciate you all as usual. You know I really do. Everyone that watches, I love you all. Thank you very much. And yeah, let me know your score predictions in the comments. The one thing I will say is I hope Kulusevski is off it. I hope Son is off it, and I also hope Johnson is off it, because them 3 as a forward line are absolutely ruthless. Thanks very much. Bye bye.